It's time for the Tony Lewis Show. Join us each week as we talk Jasper Wildcat football. Search our Roku channel by searching SW Indiana Sports Network or our website at swisportsnetwork.com. The Tony Lewis Show is brought to you by
American Family Insurance, Ken Woodward Agency. Get a quote today at 812-482-5157. Redemption Christian Church. Join us every Sunday at 9 and 10:30. All-Star Sports in the Country Plaza in Ferdinand.
Go Wildcats!
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Life's better under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Hello and welcome to the Super Tony Lewis Show. And Coach, last week you had your home opener against Wright. Why don't you recap that game for us?
Yeah, it was unfortunately, it was a tough loss for us against a good Wright team. We felt like as a staff that Wright, up front, which hasn't happened, we didn't feel like up to this point, but up front, defensive and offensive line, they played better than we did. And that led to, obviously, a lot of breakdowns of us not being able to move the football offensively. And conversely, on the other side, defensively, they made some plays when we were out of position. I thought our defense played hard. Unfortunately for us as an overall team, our defense was on the field way too much. Wright spent a good portion of both halves in our plus territory, which put our defense in a real bind, and that was caused by the inefficiency of our offense moving the football. And again, going back to what I said first, a lot of that was caused because we didn't do a good job up front. I'm not sure, and I have to obviously take the blame. I'm not sure if it was because we changed a few of our blocking schemes and the way we were doing things. But anyway, ultimately it comes back on me. I've got to do a better job of communicating how we want to get things done. I think in the second half, again, I think our defense played hard. I think our offense played hard. I just think we had some breakdowns up front. We weren't able to move the football effectively. We did score one touchdown late. Carter Holsworth made a heck of a run late. And we had our opportunities there at the end of the first half. Mitchell Leidenbach makes a huge interception, returns it. We get it inside their 20. Hindsight's 20/20. Maybe we should have gone for a field goal there. But we felt like we needed to score points, being down 17-0 at that point. We felt like we needed 7 as opposed to just 3. And again, hindsight's 20/20. Earlier on in the game, 4th and 2, we go for it in a situation that maybe we probably should have punted. We felt like, again, that we needed to score points against a potent offense like Wright. But, I thought our kids played hard, and, we're hopeful to make a a bounce back this week against a really good offensive team in Boise.
And the beginning of the schedule hadn't been very forgiving. I mean, you played two really good teams. I mean, in Memorial and Rice. I mean, both ranked, and it's not an excuse, but you got to play the best to be the best.
Yeah, you do, and we always feel like that we need to play a tough schedule to get us ready for the sectionals, and these are the same teams that we're going to face in the sectionals. So, our kids understand that. As we talked to them today, after watching film on Boise and also reviewing some of the Rice film today as well, they understand that, hard work is what Jasper football is all about. And when things don't go well, you just got to get back to work. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to have a great week of practice. We got to work hard, and we got to play physical and tough football. And that's something that we can all control as coaches and players, and that's what our mindset's got to be this week heading into the Boise game.
And you're listening to the Tony Lewis Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Million Grossman Communications. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsors.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
Welcome back to the Tony Lewis Show, and we're joined by Jasper Great, Mike Berger. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm great, Joe. Thanks for having me on.
A lot of people know about Mike Berger and what you've been up to in the high school and college, but what have you been doing since college?
Well, I moved over to St. Louis in 1990 with my wife Shannon, and I've worked here for a while, and then opened my own State Farm agency in '95, and so I've been doing that ever since.
And seeing how you're in St. Louis, but you did have a nephew play for Jasper. Do you follow Jasper very much?
I do. I like that's the beauty of technology today. I can tune into Wits and listen to some games occasionally, and when Caleb played, I listened, and I still listen when they're big games online. And so I'll always be from Jasper, and so I'll always be interested in how the teams are doing there.
Have you been able to follow along this season at all?
This season, just a little bit. I listened a little bit. The schedule's just kind of what we've had on weekends, which hadn't been as easy. But I listened a little bit to the Memorial game, and so I certainly will be tuning in more as the season goes on. And now that I'm picking the games this week, I'll certainly be listening to the Jasper Boise game.
And listen to Wes. Chris Norton does a great job, and you'll enjoy them just much like you enjoyed Walt Ferber, I'm sure, in the past.
Oh, very much. Yeah, Walt was a legend, and got to see him actually when he was doing games for Evansville, the basketball team, and when they played at Missouri State. When our daughter was down there playing tennis, and see him again. And so, they do a great job on the radio, and it's really part of what makes, Southern Indiana special is to have those communities doing games like that. And it's really a lot of fun to follow.
And, you've not been able to follow along as much as because you're probably a little busy watching Marlin baseball games, right?
Yeah, that takes up a lot of time. Although it's a lot more relaxing listening to the Jasper games on the radio than it is to watch those games for sure.
And you said your daughter, where's she at these days?
Ellie, she finished her playing career at Missouri State, and then actually about a year later, they made a coaching change, and they asked Ellie to be the head women's tennis coach at Missouri State. So she's just beginning her second year with that.
So the Berger kids are doing fine, huh?
Yeah, they're doing great. We didn't screw them up too bad, and they're out, on their own, and it gives us. It's a lot of fun for us because it gives us something to do, whether it be watching Jake's games or running down to Springfield, which is about 3 hours from here, and watching her matches.
Well, Mike, it's been great catching up with you, and I'm sure the Jasper fans all were wondering what was going on with Mike Berger, and now they know.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I really do, and go Cats.
You've been listening to the Tony Lewis Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications. We'll be back after these messages for our sponsors.
Life's better under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
It's time for this week's Buzzer Beaters. Listen as our experts pick the results of 5 local games. Buzzer Beaters, every week exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Tony Lewis Show. And Coach, this week we're going to play home again against Evansville Bosse. Why don't you review that game for us?
Yeah, from the film that we have on Bosse, they had a shootout with Castle. At one point, Bosse was ahead, I believe, 44-42, with less than 5 or with 6 or 5 minutes left in the game. They ended up losing the game. However, it was a back and forth game that Bosse made a lot of offensive plays. Their quarterback is extremely elusive. They've got some really good receivers, a good running back. They've put up a lot of points on every team that they've played up to this point. So defensively, it's going to be a huge emphasis for, number one, our defensive line and our linebackers to, what we would say, not create gaps and seams in our line. We want to kind of form a wall up front to keep their quarterback hemmed in because he's a heck of a player, both running and throwing. Secondly, we've got to do a good job of stopping their speed before it gets started. They throw bubble screens. He'll throw the ball downfield. And, again, their tailback's very elusive as well. So our defense definitely has its work cut out this week. And, kind of what we talked about in the earlier segment, we've got to do a better job offensively of holding on to the football, sustaining long drives, working the clock to keep the ball away from their potent offense. So, we've got to get things worked out offensively up front in terms of how we want to play, in terms of getting back to the fundamentals of football, which is blocking and tackling, and also get back to, doing things the right way. And it's not that I think our kids have been doing things the wrong way. It's just I think as a staff, myself at the top of that list, has to understand that we've got to simplify things to make it to where our kids understand exactly what's expected of them in terms of our fundamentals, in terms of our technique, in terms of how we want to run certain plays. And, again, a lot of that comes back on me in terms of if we haven't communicated it well, whether they know it or not, it ultimately comes back on us, because if they don't know it and we feel like it's been communicated, then ultimately we haven't done a good job of communicating it. So, we're excited about the opportunity. I believe it's homecoming. And again, Bossy's not your, what I would say, they're not your mama and daddy's Bossy. They are a very potent team. At times in the past history, Bossy has struggled, but this is not that team. This is a very potent team that could win a lot of games this year.
And, this week's going to be week 4 of the season, and the season's just flying past.
Well, it's funny you said that. I actually just got done talking to one of my old coaches that I coached with for 11 years, and he was my high school coach, and he is retired. And that was one of the exact same things he just told me yesterday when I was on the phone with him. We were talking through the season and talking through the ups and downs of the season. And he said, what's amazing, when you're retired and you look, he said, you realize how fast this goes. He said, we're already in week 4. So a lot of teams, they're almost halfway through their season. So it is fast. When you're in the middle of it, you probably don't think about it as much, but you're exactly right. He brought that point up yesterday. The season is flying by, and we need to take advantage of every opportunity we can to represent and play well for Jasper High School.
And, playing in the SIAC, it doesn't leave many weeks off because, after Bossy, you've got Mater Dei, and Mater Dei has been number 1 for part of the year. You've got Central, who's won a state title a couple years ago. You've got Castle, you've got North, you've got Vincennes. Vincennes won a big game last week. So, it's going to be getting prepare you for sectional.
Absolutely. And as we talk to our kids all the time, challenges make you better, whether it's challenging your body or whether it's challenging your mind or whether it's challenging you as a team. That's just going to bring out the best in you. And sometimes things happen in life and in a sports season and in life that you think, oh gosh, why am I having to go through this? Well, it's to make you a better person. So that's what we're hopeful in terms of our mindset. I know that's, as coaches, that's what we're thinking, and that's how we need to convey it to our team. And again, it's homecoming, so we're hoping for a big crowd. We're hoping they're boisterous and excited, and we want our student section to have fun, and we want to make it fun for them.
Well, Coach, good luck this week against Bossy, and remember, JAC.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Go Wildcats.
You've been listening to Tony Lewis Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brooks Communications. We'll talk to you next week.
It's time for the Tony Lewis Show. Join us each week as we talk Jasper Wildcat football. Search our Roku channel by searching SW Indiana Sports Network or our website at SWISportsNetwork.com. The Tony Lewis Show is brought to you by
American Family Insurance, Ken Woodward Agency. Get a quote today at 812-482-5157. Redemption Christian Church. Join us every Sunday at 9 and 10:30. All-Star Sports in the Country Plaza in Ferdinand.
Go Wildcats!